Hey y'all, today we are going to make a Six the Musical themed birthday cake. I have never seen the musical, but I am a huge fan of musicals and I love turning creative ideas into adorable cakes. To start this cake, I have a chocolate cake that I'm just gonna crumb coat with some white buttercream and get it back in the fridge to chill. The unique part about this cake is I wanted to incorporate this musical into the cake without using the logo or the word. So the point of the crowns on top is the fact that there's going to be 6 of them, representing the 6 women in the musical. So at this point, while my cake is chilling out, I want to use my crown mold and just use some white fondant and make all of my crowns. You may notice that I don't make 6 crowns, I make over 12 actually. And this reason is because later on, I am just going to put these back to back so that it's a crown on both sides and there won't necessarily be a back to the cake. Once my crowns are made, I am going to stick these in the fridge to chill out while I move on to my chocolate ganache. At this point, I have shown y'all how to make chocolate ganache multiple times. So if you want to check out how to make that, you can find the video below. But I went ahead and made this and got it set to the side so that I can use it later for the drips on my cake. After this, I got my cake out and put a nice clean white coat of buttercream around the sides. And then I got to use my purple buttercream. This technique is really simple and looks adorable. I think it's super unique and not used very often, which is the reason I loved it for this cake. I started with just a little bit of purple buttercream on the end of my spatula and made a row along the bottom of my cake. And then once I made it all the way around my cake, I was able to just take my spatula and smear this purple buttercream up my cake. This created a really fun and unique design that I am totally here for and ran with this idea. I stuck my cake back in the fridge for just a few minutes and then smoothed out the top of my cake and followed this up by making my drips around the sides and then filling in the top with my chocolate ganache. While my cake chills out in the refrigerator, I want to finish up my crowns. So I took a toothpick in between both of my 2 pieces of crowns and just put these together with a little bit of piping gel. You may notice I have these standing up. I just used a leftover cardboard box that we had around the house. You can use styrofoam or a cardboard box. Either way is perfect. Once these chilled out just a little bit longer, just to get that piping gel nice and stuck together, I went ahead and took my gold paint and coated every single crown, making sure to get in every nook and cranny so that there's no more white showing. At this point, I took my cake out of the refrigerator and used the same gold paint to paint all of the drips around my cake. This might take a minute, but it will be worth it. One of the last details I wanted to put on this cake is music notes around the base. I did not put the logo anywhere on this cake or really anything that screamed Six the Musical except the crowns. So I wanted to add these music notes to hint that it's a musical. I finished up piping my music notes along the bottom and then I got to move to the final touch on top. I used the same purple buttercream I used on the base of my cake for the border on top, making 6 wide and not very tall rosettes on the top of my cake. This part can be a little bit tricky if your crowns are still a little bit wet like mine were, so I just took my pair of scissors and held the toothpick at the base, making sure to slide it all the way down, and then I can use the tip of my scissors to just touch up any movements. And then I had an adorable Six the Musical themed cake. If you have seen Six on Broadway, you would definitely know what this cake stands for. I think it turned out adorable. and very royal in my opinion. If you enjoyed watching me make this cake as much as I loved making it, make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell so we can change the world one cake at a time. Bye.